as I need it. First of all, thanks to Paul Baker for organizing this session. Again, I'm absolutely delighted. This is a subject that's hugely close to my heart. I never quite imagined there would be a session about this or that anybody would want to come. So it's tremendously gratifying. And also, if I could also thank Scott Gassick, who I only met once at a conference many years ago, but whose work in Inside Higher Ed has probably been the most important source for me as a writer. I would say it's launched 1,000 op-eds. If you want really smart 1,500-word articles about controversies in higher ed, don't go to Harvard Educational Review or the Teachers College Record. You're not going to find it there. You should go to Scott Gassick's work in Inside Higher Ed. And it is op-eds that I do. That's not the only way to do this, not necessarily the best way. It's my way. I like the blogosphere, but I'm not a major participant in it, and there are a few reasons for that. For me, the major one is I actually like the idea of being edited. I'm a big Gates guy. I don't mean Bill Gates. I like the idea of gatekeepers, and I like the idea of an editor on the other end saying, well, you know, we've seen this already. Why do we need this? Or, you know, I really like this, but we don't have room for it. Or you've got a problem with logic here, or you don't have enough evidence. So that's why I do op-eds. I've done a little bit of TV, but not very much, and there are a few reasons for that, but probably the biggest one is that I'm not as good looking as Mark. So why do I do it? You know, it's been fun to prepare for this, because I hadn't really addressed that to myself very much. And I think the reason that I do it is that even though I've spent a lot of my time studying religions, I'm not a devout person, I'm not a believer, and I'm not a Hindu or a Buddhist, and that means I don't believe I'm going to be reincarnated. So I believe I have one life, and I'm not going to spend it writing things that 200 or 400 people read. I just won't do that. I have respect for people who do that, enormous respect. And I well understand that that's enough for many people, and that's fine. It's just not enough for me in my one life. I have written 4 books, and if you're not a blood relative, you probably haven't read them. Although, you know, sometimes Americans are related in different ways. We don't like to talk about that either. But let me just say a couple things about the process. First of all, I do think that being an op-ed writer has made me a much better historian, a much better academic. The problem with the discussion about so-called public intellectuals, which is sort of hilarious because in my old field, history, all the major figures in the founding of the discipline were public intellectuals. They would have been completely puzzled by the very term. The likes of Charles Beard and Frederick Jackson Turner would have said, isn't everyone a public intellectual? What would be the point of being an intellectual if you weren't? But that's a day that's come and gone. So we think of it in very binary terms, right? Either I'm going to write my books, you know, or I'm going to be a kind of popularizer, a journalist, right? Actually, I do think that writing these op-eds has made me a much better historian and also a much better teacher. And the reason is that it gives you a nose for the news. I was a journalist in a past life, like Holly, and what that trained me to do was to ask a very simple question. What's new here? What's new? What's new? Haven't we seen this somewhere before? Do we really need another of this? It trains you to do that. It trains you to get to the main point. It trains you to try to find a language that you can communicate with people who aren't exactly like you. The term communicate allegedly means to make common. And most of all, I think that it's helped me by inuring me to failure, to rejection. If you become an op-ed writer, all right, you will be rejected every week, dozens of times. Every week I am rejected over and over and over again. And that, of course, is the key to success in academia. Show me a successful academic and I'll show you somebody who has been rejected 9 times for every 1 time that they hit the number. And I'm not just talking about my dating record in high school. All right? That's the key. It really is, you know, is just getting rejected over and over and over again. And the great thing about the op-ed world is it happens every day, right? And you realize how much of it is actually not in your control. Sometimes an editor will say to me, she'll say, God, this piece is great. I wish you would send it to me yesterday. Because I just bought another piece that isn't nearly as good, but it's on the same subject. I can't run them twice. Right? And so it also teaches you, I think, a very fundamental lesson about the entire process, which is control what you can, but don't fall for the fallacy, the great fallacy that any third grader could see their way through. And it goes like this. If you don't get into print, or you don't get a grant, or you don't get a job, your friends or lovers, if they really loved you, they'll say, look, John, don't take it personally, right? You don't know what was involved, right? You don't know all the contingencies that were behind the curtain, right? But then if you hit the number, they're like, hey, Mazel Tov, you earned it! All you, baby, all you. And again, this is a contradiction that a second grader could drive a truck through. It makes no sense, right? If contingency operates in one realm, obviously it operates in the other, right? And you learn that through the op-ed world. There's just so much going on all the time that you can't control. You do your best, and then you see what happens. Now, how do you do it? I am an evangel for this subject. I'm an unsuccessful evangel because almost nobody that I know actually does it, but I try. Being an evangel, I need a very short message that will hopefully convert you. And the way you do it is through the 3 Ps. The 3 Ps are punctual, pithy, and persistent. You must have the 3 Ps. If any one of them are missing, you're out of the game. Punctual means that if you're writing about a subject that's in the news, you have to write about it the day it's in the news. Sometimes this is not possible because you have a class to teach, you have a kid who's sick, right? I mean, again, there are contingencies. But if you want to get into print about a subject, you've got to write as soon as it becomes news. I haven't written about the Arizona issue. I did think I had an interesting historical point to make, but I didn't have time to do it. And now I can never get into print because A, I've seen that point before, now, right? I've seen other people make it, not exactly as I would make it, but, and also just, you know, the papers are saturated with Arizona articles. And by the way, the honor process tells you how hard it is to be original. Sometimes you have a great idea and you go onto the web and you find that, oh shit, all right? You know, somebody else already had